Enter the Gungeon is my favorite game in the bullet hell genre, but it's not available on mobile. And that's why Soul Knight has garnered such a loyal following over time with consistent updates and content, and it's only getting more popular over time. Now, it only makes sense that other games want a slice of this pie, and that's where Dungeon vs. Gunner comes in. Does it measure up? Let's get right into it. Right off the bat, you can tell that Dungeon vs. Gunner is going for that Enter the Gungeon type feel with its art style specifically and its animations, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, especially when they put their own spin on the enemies and enemy variety and types with how they behave and stuff. I really like the little details, such as when you kill monkeys, they'll climb up a vine or they climb down a vine to come at you. It's really cool, and the little details like that really help set this game apart from other games in this genre on mobile. You start Dungeon vs. Gunner in a hub area similar to Soul Knight, and you select a class, and there's about 5 classes that you can choose from, and each class has their own abilities and play style because of those abilities. Now once you do so, you delve straight into the dungeon. While exploring these dungeons, you will encounter a wide variety of enemies and bosses, traps, environmental hazards, and all kinds of upgrades that you can get, including new weaponry. Now, usually you get new weaponry from chests that you encounter after defeating enemies and entering a new room, but there's also statistical upgrades as well as ammo to replenish guns you already have, and you can stack 3 guns at one time, including your ability. A huge part about this game and other games in this genre is the weaponry that you can encounter and equip, and there is a wide variety of weaponry to equip, but it's not as wacky as it is in Soul Knight, and that could be seen as a negative for some people, but the weaponry here is really satisfying to utilize, and it provides quite a different play style, so to speak, whenever you do loot things. There's shotguns, there's silenced machine guns, there's SMGs, there's pistols, revolvers, the whole 9. So if you like getting new weaponry, this game has that. What's pretty cool is that this game has a variety of different dungeons. Now, there's only one dungeon currently available, but there are more coming soon, and it's a Mayan-themed dungeon, and it displays a scoreboard for the top players that have delved into this dungeon and acquired the highest score and survived the longest, which is really cool and gives it a competitive multiplayer style feel to the game overall, which I haven't really experienced in any other game in this genre on mobile. The monetization is also really fair. It gives you a free class up front, and then you are able to get the premium currency just by playing and looting chests, and then arriving back at the hub, and then you can spend those crystals. Now you can also watch ads for crystals, and then you can also buy crystals outright, and if you make any purchase whatsoever in this game, then it removes the ads completely, but ads are only incentivized ads, which is really interesting, and I think that's really fair. It's important to note that this game has no multiplayer functions whatsoever. There's no PvP or PvE, which is unfortunate in this style of game. At the end of the day, for just being a new release, Dungeon vs. Gunner is a solid attempt at emulating the Enter the Gungeon formula, and I think it stacks up quite well to other games in the genre. However, I think it's a bit unfair to compare it to Soul Knight specifically, since Soul Knight has been out for quite some time and has consistently received a ton of content updates. So if you're wanting to get into a new game in this genre that really has a solid foundation as well as a ton of potential, definitely check out Dungeon vs. Gunner. The links to the game are in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video or it helped you out in any way, please consider leaving a like, popping a sub, and commenting. It really helps me out, and I appreciate it in advance. I hope you guys are staying safe, and take it easy.